Hello, everybody, and welcome to our January EdWeb webinar in the digital classroom community, 6 terrific tools to transform your 2016. Try to say that 3 times fast, and it'll be fun. We have Suzy Lolley here today, and I'll tell you a little bit about her in a minute before we get started, but she's an instructional technology specialist for Cherokee County Schools in Georgia. And we'll get started with her in just a couple minutes. My name is Kelly Mendoza, and I'm with Common Sense Education, and this is kicking off our 2016 calendar year for webinars. We're really excited to offer you webinars in our digital classroom and digital citizenship communities on EdWeb. So let's go ahead and tell you a little bit about what you're going to learn today. Suzy is going to present 6 tools that is going to transform your digital toolkit. You may already know about these tools, you may be interested in these tools, or looking for an alternative or to expand. And all of these tools can be found on graphite.org, where we at Common Sense rate and review digital tools for learning to help you make informed, good decisions about the tools that you're using in your classroom. So the first one is developing dynamic presentations with Microsoft Office Sway, creating snazzy graphics and photo editing with Canva. The next one is absorbing interactive daily news stories with Newsella. Newsella's awesome. These are all awesome. Playing and making educational games with a tool called TinyTap. Getting formative assessment feedback with Kahoot, which is a big favorite. And building digital portfolios with Seesaw. So, let me tell you a little about Suzy, and then we have a little bit of housekeeping, and then we'll get started. I'll transfer it to Suzy. So Suzy Lolley is a 13-year veteran of middle and high school ELA education, and in her role as instructional technology specialist, she assists teachers and students with new and exciting technology tools to increase classroom engagement. And in fact, I think she just said she did a training today, so she's just on a roll today. She is a Graphite certified educator and an ambassador, which is like our kind of highest level, and we can tell you a little bit about how to get Graphite certified at the end of the webinar, as well as a Microsoft Innovative Educator expert. So she knows her tools backwards and forwards, and she's going to share them.
TinyTap. We're making progress. Here we go. TinyTap, I just have to tell you really quickly why it was created. The founder of TinyTap's father had dementia, and he was forgetting who his family members were. And so the developer created TinyTap with pictures of the family members, and the dad who was an elderly man had to match the faces with the names. And I just thought that was the coolest story. You can look it up on YouTube. But TinyTap takes images, static images, and it adds functions to them, such as, I'm going to skip that one for now. It adds all these functions. I can ask a question. I can have students fill in the blank. That's called tap and type. I can create a soundboard, cut a shape puzzle, and all this sounds elementary, but I have made these for professional use. I'm going to show you one in a minute that you can actually play. If you don't want to follow the chat, you can play that. You can play a video in there, or you can just talk about something. So think of any image you've created in Canva. This would be a great app smash. Create an image in Canva, pull it into ThingLink, and add some elements. So here's a link that you can use, and I'm going to have you, they'll post it over here in the chat for me. But if you'll click that, it shows you every activity. I tried to make a video of myself playing it, and it just was not going to happen. So anyway, but if you click that link, you can play every activity, soundboard, type and tap. You'll see all of them happen, okay? So let me see. I might be able to, okay, cool. She's got it in the, ooh, I got off my slide. Here we go. So that's a demo, but here are just some quick ideas. Again, it's not just for elementary school. This is a very complicated set of flashcards made with TinyTap. The students had to, the first set of cards, the left-hand column, they were able to hover over pieces of a cell and see what they were. On the right-hand side, they had to match them. What else? You can create flashcards in TinyTap. What's so cool about this is if you actually click on the numbers, it'll tell you what the answer of the multiplication problem is. This is not just a picture of a flashcard. That would be very dull. but you can actually animate. So when kids click on this, 2 times 2, it actually talks to them. Fascinating. What else? This one's really cool, and this is featured. If you go to TinyTap right now, it's the website, but also you can get the app. They have 16 ideas for using TinyTap in 2016, and this is one of theirs. This leads to 16 activities, but it's actually a soundboard. So you make your picture in Canva, you pull it in, and then each part of this, each of the colored squares, takes me somewhere and makes a sound. So just really cool. It's hard to explain without you seeing it, so please go play with it. What else can you do with it? You can embed these. So you know how we learned sway way back in the first slide? I can embed TinyTap in a sway, supposedly. Now, somebody will have to try it for me. But sway doesn't accept embed code. If you can't get that to work, then you can embed it in your blog or in a website where somebody who goes to my blog or to my website can actually play this game. What else? Matching with foreign language or anything else that you could possibly want to match little kids that are learning. If you have a STEM or a STEAM class that you teach at school or a STEM lab, students can actually talk about, like they take a picture of their STEM project and they can talk about it in TinyTap. They can actually make a soundboard and show how each of the parts work. What else could you do? TinyTap is huge about special needs. We don't find a lot of apps or resources that are really devoted to special needs students, but they have a whole gallery, if you'll go to TinyTap, of things to help autistic students, students with learning disabilities. So this is just one example. Somebody created where they talk Bryce through his daily schedule. I know with autistic students, they don't like change. They want to know there's a structure. So I can say, Bryce, your first period is social studies. And when he clicks that, it's very comforting. It reminds him that I'm on a schedule. Okay, there are some paid features in TinyTap. If you want to know how your students did on a particular activity, feel free to pay for it. I'm not going to pay. I'm going to do the free version. But some of the same hacks we used at News Element. I want to end with this. I know I talked really fast, and I'm sure you have some good questions for me. If you need to contact me, we'll leave this slide up just for a couple minutes, and then maybe we can put it up again at the end. But the fastest way is on Twitter, Lolley Teacher. I just spelled it TCHR. But you've also got my email address, and then you've got my website there. So I'm going to turn it back over to Kelly at this time.